Hi everyone, we are back, this time with a review of Chris King's ARD 44 wheel set. So these are Chris King's top of the line premium road / gravel offering. They kind of bridge that gap nicely between what is a road wheel, what is a gravel wheel. They're about 30 millimeters external and 25 millimeters internal. It is a hookless wheel, so you will need to use a tubeless tire. Minimum 28, though recently ETRTO has recommended a minimum of 29 on 25 millimeter internal hookless wheel. They have Chris King's legendary hubs, and they are made from a slightly different material. So this is not your traditional carbon fiber rim. This is actually a fusion fiber rim. And what that means is it doesn't use traditional carbon fiber. Instead, it uses these longer chain polymers that make it just a little bit more recyclable. It's still not, still not super eco-friendly, but a little bit better. So that's always nice to see. And the big claim is that these rims help soak up a lot of vibration because of that new material. Now, let's jump right into it. Okay, so I've been testing these wheels for a little while now, have around 1,000 miles on them, so enough to make a very solid, opinion of these wheels. Not by any means a super long-term review, although I don't really anticipate having any problems with the hubs, and spoiler, the hubs are fantastic. They are super smooth, they have that really nice sound, just a very smooth ratchet system, but they have some drawbacks. So first of all, this system that they use for their bearing preload, it requires on the rear hub this external lock ring, which is fine, except for almost everyone on the road uses an internal lock ring, which fits fine on the front wheel, but doesn't quite make the cut on that rear wheel. So just something a little bit frustrating there. You have to have two sets of tools and two lock rings in order to run these wheels. The other thing that I found a little bit peculiar is on the front wheel, the bearing is nicely sealed from the elements, so no issues there. However, on this rear wheel, again, kind of the same side, you can't see it super clearly here, but right through this hole, there is actually an exposed bearing in there. Now, when I questioned Chris King about this, they said, no worries, our bearings are good, they're sealed, that everything's fine. Again, I did not receive these wheels from Chris King, so this is just me, my opinion. They have no say in the video, and they don't even know I'm making the video because I just bought them. So I just didn't love that response from customer support. Almost every single wheel I've ever used has a cap, at least a bearing cap that covers the bearing. All that does is adds that one extra layer to prevent any water, salt, grit, dirt from getting into that bearing and ruining it. Now, I'll have to take their word for this. They are based in Portland, where it does rain, and it is near the coast, so you know what, if they say it's fine, I'm sure they've tested it and it's probably okay. So long story short, no issues with the hubs. They were great, very smooth. I enjoyed them. The only downside to them is they are on the heavy side. So, you have to make your own choice there. Do you like a hub that is really smooth, high quality, but heavy, or do you like a hub that's on the lighter side? And I would argue I would take the DT Swiss 180 hubs over these hubs any day. They're lighter, ceramic bearings, reliable. So in my opinion, the DT Swiss hubs are the ones to go for over the Chris King hubs, just for the reason that they're more performance oriented. The machining is excellent on these hubs. Now, let's get to what you actually want to know about. That is, how do these wheels ride? What are they like? And in one word, I would say uninspiring. These wheels were a big letdown for me. They are too soft, too flexible. Every time I was out of the saddle, disc brake rub, and it's not a matter of alignment. All of my other wheels, no rub. It's definitely these wheels that are causing the problem. So I just didn't like them. They were too soft. They were very good at holding that vibration from like the chip seal to a minimum. So very smooth in that regard. But that was like their only benefit. They're heavy. These wheels are almost 1,550 grams, and they're only a 44 millimeter depth. So that's not great for that level of wheel. They do have bladed spokes, which is nice, but they're just too flexible, slow to accelerate. I see these being, in all honesty, a gravel wheel at best. Even then, I would not spend my money on these again. These are probably the biggest letdown in wheels that I've ridden for a long time. And the quality itself is also not fantastic. You know, you're paying a big price tag for these wheels, but the spoke holes are pretty weak. I actually had a rim crack around the spoke hole right here, and I had to have it replaced. What Chris King does when they replace a rim is you actually send them the whole thing. They relace it to the exact hub that was on your rim previously. So that's nice that the rims or that the hubs get reused and only the part that is broken gets replaced. But overall, just I don't think this technology is quite there yet. I know Bontrager is using them for some of their road wheels, though their dimensions and specs are a little bit more competitive. So I haven't tried those. I can't compare. Loved the smooth feeling, but everything else just kind of dull, heavy. If you're looking for just a training wheel, I guess they're good, but there's so much better options for a training wheel, especially at that price point. Aerodynamics was just okay. They were just a little bit unstable, but not bad by any means. Not as good as some of the best wheels are, but they're okay. And that's kind of the feeling I had this whole time riding these wheels is they're just okay. They're not really worth the money, and they're just a little bit dull. I just didn't love it. Would I spend my money on it again? No, definitely not. And in fact, I'll see if I can't even return these because realistically, I love the vision of the product, but they're just not meant for road performance bikes, maybe on an endurance bike. But even then, why would you want a wheel that makes your bike feel slow, heavy, and soft? The smooth ride, I understand that, but why not get a better wheel set that will make your bike feel fun to you and to ride out on the road? So that is my review of the Chris King ARD 44 wheel set. I hope you found it helpful in your buying decisions, and I hope that there is a generation 2 of these wheels. I love the idea, but they're not ready yet. So hopefully in the future, the iteration will bring them up to where I hope a performance road wheel set can be. Thanks for watching.